Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. So today we get to take a look at this 2023 BMW 540i. Huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this sedan for me today. Check out their website, that link is down in the description. So the 540 that you see behind me is finished off in carbon black metallic, and we'll go over the MSRP once we go over all the specs and features and get this sedan out on the road. So let's start off with what powers this 540i. Underneath the hood is the 3-liter inline 6-cylinder twin power turbo paired to the 8-speed automatic transmission. This pumps out 335 horsepower, 333 pound-feet of torque. That power is sent to the rear wheels. This weighs in right under 3,900 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 5 seconds with a top speed of 155 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 18 gallons. You'll expect to see around 25 miles per gallon in the city, 32 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 117.1 inches. Its overall length is 185.8. It has a width of 73.5 and a height of 58.2 inches. As we move on to the exterior styling now for this 540i, let's start off with the kidney grille, which is finished off in gloss black. Has a very nice narrow design to it, and this even has the active grille shutters, so the middle section of all those slats will open up to provide cooling to that engine when needed. This also has the LED headlights, DRLs, and turn signals with a sleek housing to them, so it matches that upper grille very nicely. Now in the lower section, there are a lot more cutouts to provide a lot more cooling. There's even the parking sensors, a lot of contoured lines to give this an aggressive look, and on each corner you can see that cutout there, so that is a functional air inlet to help further the aerodynamics. Now as far as the hood lines go, very sleek running down both sides to meet the top of that grille very nicely. And with the M Sport package, it provides this model with the 20-inch wheels with that two-tone design, multi-spoke pattern as well, and the red brake calipers, so you can see those in the front as well as in the rear. Now this also has the body-colored side mirrors with the integrated turn signal. There is a sunroof. All of the window trim is blacked out too, so it matches nicely with the color of this vehicle, which also has sort of a bluish tint to it in the right lighting, and then it looks black in other lighting. So it's a very nice metallic paint job. There's also a trim piece just behind that front tire and some nice lines that run at the height of the door handle, making their way all the way to the back here, where this does have a small trunk mounted spoiler. It's finished off in that body colored. The backup camera is just underneath the BMW logo. This has LED taillights with a dark housing to them, some gray trim in that lower diffuser, and the dual exhaust on both sides. And you can also remote start this, which is a nice feature to have. So let's work our way to the trunk space now, where this does have the power trunk. I can use the button on the key fob or the electronic button just up underneath there. And you'll see for this sedan, it is very, very practical. There's a net and some battery access on that driver's side. There's a cubby over on this passenger side. You can also fold the back seats down as well just by pulling on these tabs on each side, and that allows you to have a lot more interior storage. So this would be a perfect daily driver. You have a lot of room with the back seats up, and then obviously that additional space. Now with the power trunk, I can just push on one button for that to close. The one on the right side will lock it as well. And you can also lock and unlock this vehicle using the back door handles, which makes it that much more convenient. And for this model, we have the cognac leather, which is a cool combo against the exterior color. You'll see all of that leather on the armrest and the grab handle. There's even some brush trim just underneath that release handle. This has the Harman Kardon sound system and a little bit of storage in the lower section there. And then you can see the full leather seats. Definitely a nice design. Now at 5'10", I can hop into the back seat where I have a lot of space. It is very easy to enter and exit this 5 Series. I have plenty of room. There's also storage pockets behind both front seats, air vents, and 2 storage areas along with some auxiliaries so you can charge electronics. Now as far as headroom goes, I have around an inch or so above my head, but it's super comfortable. I could have 2 other people next to me and be very comfortable being driven around. Now in the middle, we have the armrest along with 2 cup holders if you need to use those. There's no storage on the back section, so that is just the armrest. And then you can fold down the middle seat individually. So if you need to put in some longer items and have that seat down, you have the option to do that. As far as visibility goes, it's very open feeling. So it is a nice place to be. You can be driven around and be very comfortable. Now for the driver door panel, there's the addition of the window adjustments, side mirror adjustments, which are power folding. This even has some memory seating adjustments, the trunk release, and a lot more storage in the lower section, but the overall design is of course identical. And then you can see with the front seats, they have the same design running down them. They are automatic, so all those adjustments are down on the side. And it's just as easy to enter these front seats. The door opens up very wide, so it's easy to reach that and to enter. Now with the M Sport package, we get the M steering wheel, so you'll see that logo on the lower section. It's also heated as well. And then we have all the brushed aluminum accents running throughout it. Well, let's fire this up though. With my foot on the brake, we can bring this to life. And looking at this gauge cluster, on the left side is the fuel level and the miles per hour. On the right side is the tach and the engine temperature. You'll notice that the map for the navigation always stays right in the middle. And you can also go through a lot more info within that tach using that button over on the top of the turn signal stalk. So currently it's showing the odometer along with some data information. You can even pull up live readouts for horsepower and torque. So if I give the vehicle some gas, you'll see those adjust. There's also the G-force meter that you can monitor. You have your audio when you have that on and running. You can even look at what gear the vehicle is in along with the driving mode. So currently it is in comfort, and there's also a live readout for your MPG. So it's nice to have that amount of info right in the middle. And then on the left side of the steering wheel, you'll see all the cruise control settings. On the right side is volume and tuning for the radio along with Bluetooth and voice commands. And this even has the brushed aluminum paddle shifters, which is a really nice touch. Now on this left side, there's a little bit of storage in the lower section, so you can place some items there as needed. There's all the headlight and parking light adjustments along with one air vent. Now this even has the head-up display, so it's showing the miles per hour and the speed limit sign. And right in the middle, we have this touchscreen system where if we go to the home screen, you can see the navigation along with the media and phone. You have some more data information and the compass to look at. And then you actually have some blank pages where you can add some more widgets. So depending on the info that you go through the most, you can quickly add those to this. Now you also have shortcuts on this left side, so you can quickly get through all of this information. And if I go into car, we're going to use this rotary dial down below. You can see the shortcuts just in front of that to further go through this system. So if I scroll all the way up into the driving information, if I go into the sport displays, this is a cool graphic that you can pull up. If you want to do some sporty driving in your 540i, you can also look at the energy flow as well. And if I go back to vehicle status, you have some icons here that you can monitor. We can also go into the settings where you have a lot more information that you can go through just to personalize this the way that you need to. There's different driving modes too, so you can configure all of that however you would like to drive. There's the driver profiles, owner's manual. This even has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and some other apps that you can go into just depending on what you'd like to use and have for your BMW here. So it's a very easy system to go through. Now you'll notice there's this cool trim piece along with some brushed aluminum for that dash. Two air vents are right in the middle. And then there's even a shortcut to the intelligent safety. So this is for all the tech features that are available, and you can customize those depending on how you'd like them to react. Now underneath that, you'll see power and volume for the radio, all of the presets and tuning. And then just underneath that, we have another LCD screen for the dual zone climate. So the temperature dials are on both sides. This also has heated seats, so you can quickly adjust those. And then right in the middle, if I push on menu, then you can further adjust some of that information and quickly go through that. There's also where you'd like the air to go, there's sync, and a few other settings on both sides. So it's laid out very well and easy to go through. Now underneath that, you'll see two cup holders along with a 12 volt, a USB, even a wireless charging pad, and the BMW access card. So you can use that in place of the key fob. And then to the left of all of those controls, we have the shifter. So if I put this into reverse, you'll see the backup camera up here along with the sensors. You can also just pull up the sensors if you'd like to, but all of those guidelines are of course very helpful. If I put this into drive and pop it over, that allows you to use the steering wheel mounted paddle shifters, of course, and then park is located on the top. You will see that pop back into place. Now traction control is on this left side, and there's a few different driving modes. So if I push on that, you will see sport mode with a few different settings. There's also comfort, and the last one is eco. So depending on your driving style for the day, you can also shut off the parking sensors. The electronic parking brake and the auto hold are right in the middle. And with the split style for the center armrest, you have a good amount of space along with an auxiliary, and you have even more storage in the glove box for all that information. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this does have a sunroof. That sunshade is actually automatic, so just by pushing on that button, that will open up. You can further open up the sunroof from there. And then the dome lights are up top. There's even a call button on the back. As we set off now behind the wheel for this 540i, this model here has an MSRP just shy of $70,000. Now that is a lot of money for a sedan, but when you factor in the 5 Series is the middle of the line basically from the BMW lineup for their sedans. So you have the 3 Series, the 5 Series, and then the 7 Series as well. The 3 Series is very fun. It's a little bit tight in the back seats. So if you need a little bit more practicality, you want a little bit larger of a back seat area, you can go with the 5 Series. If you want a lot more, you go with the 7 Series. So for the 5 Series that we're in today with the M Sport package, it has a lot to offer as far as the different driving modes go, where we can put it into Sport Plus. And it's got some get up and go to it. It's 335 horsepower roughly. That's not a big number by some of the other performance-oriented models from BMW, but it doesn't weigh that much. 0 to 60, just under 5 seconds. It's pretty adequate for what this car is trying to be. This is not the performance-oriented 5 Series. However, we have the M Sport package to give you a little bit of those handling and performance characteristics. So like the brakes, you have the cool wheels, some of the M Sport accents on the interior, like the steering wheel as well. So if you're not looking for a performance-oriented vehicle, but you want it to look a little bit nicer, this even has the blacked out grille and some of the other accents, which is a part of that package. They call it the Shadowline package, I believe. This is a really nice option. So for $70,000, you're getting a very nice luxury style sedan without it costing an arm and a leg. 70 grand is still 70 grand, but for what you're getting, very nice interior. This one I wouldn't say is fully loaded. We do have some of these trim accents here where I think you can get some nicer materials in my opinion, or some nicer accents. Of course, that will add to the price slightly. But for the model that we're in today, I really like it. It's a comfortable vehicle to drive. And like I said, you have a lot of options to drive this the way that you'd like to. So now that we are on more of a back road here, it's pretty quiet, even in sport mode. I haven't heard too much of a difference with the exhaust. I wish there was an exhaust note button that you could push, but I think it is tied in with the sport and the comfort button. And just going at a normal speed, it took that turn very well. I am impressed with BMW because they do put some handling and performance characteristics into their vehicles that don't necessarily have the full potential. Like this is the 540i. If you went with the M5, that is so much more performance oriented, of course, being the M model car versus this one. But it's nice that it still handles turns very well. The paddles are pretty responsive. So if you want to have some sporty driving, but you don't do it often, this is a good kind of in the middle if you want a little bit more without going to that next level, which is the M car. And as we downshift before we come up to this turn, very responsive. And then on the brakes coming around this right turn, it is so planted. You don't feel any body roll for this sedan. So $70,000 vehicle that's not performance oriented-ish, it still gives you a very nice vehicle to drive. So like I mentioned, you want a sedan that is just comfortable to drive. This is a good option. I'm trying to think of some other $70,000 sedans. We have some of the Cadillacs, maybe the ATSs that could be similar. You know, there's some Mercedes-Benz options, even some Audi options like the A5, some other four-door sedans like that. And this is definitely a good option to check out if you're in the market for this size of a vehicle. I don't think it's overpriced, especially with some of the other competition. I do wish that this particular model had some more goodies, and of course that would add to the price, like the 360 camera system. This is missing a forward-facing camera, and I'm not sure if there's a few other settings that this is missing. But for the model that we're in today, I think it is worth the price. Very peppy to get up to speed. And it is super quiet. It is so comfortable to drive. I love the seating position, and the bolstering support that these seats have to offer definitely makes it a good place to be. And I think that's gonna wrap it up for this 2023 BMW 540i Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick BMW Northlake for providing this sedan for me today. Check out their website. That link is down in the description. Give the video a huge thumbs up and smash that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.